Good evening once again, everybody. This is the AlgoGyaan series part 5, and today
Part
we are going to
six.
6 or 5.
This is six.
It's six.
No problem. Part 6.
Don't worry that all. Yeah.
So the point is, today we are going to start our journey in terms of Algorand standard assets. So what is an asset? We all know that. What is a token? What is the NFT and all? Everybody's normally nowadays aware of that. Right? So I'll just have one question for Mudassir. Mudassir, can you tell me what is the main difference between token and NFT?
Token is fungible. Basically, NFT you cannot divide it, and token you can divide it. Basically, this is the concept: fungible and non-fungible.
So that is the only thing you mean to say, the difference between and
Uh,
tokens also you can divide. No, you have micro algos. That's a token division only.
yes, that's what I am saying. Tokens you can divide, but NFTs you cannot divide unless until it is fractional NFT.
Okay.
Because
So
some advanced
both
NFTs
the
are also there. Yep.
that means both the things are possible with both kind of tokens. So the question is
Yeah,
still,
that's a technical question.
I know. Let's see if you can figure out a way. Anybody from you can type in the chat also. Meet is there, I believe. So what is the basic difference between token and NFT? See, this is very important for everybody to understand why this is the difference is there. So you said that it is non-fungible token and fungible. So the fungible token all are same. NFT is unique, yeah. Vishal, fungible and non-fungible NFT is unique. Tokens are interchangeable, but NFTs are cannot. No, NFTs also can be exchanged. No problem in that case. So point is just that NFT is unique in terms of price also, in terms of image as well as price. While fungible tokens all are same. Every 100 rupee note in our country is same for everybody. The number is different, but the value of that particular note is same, right? So the point is that those particular things are called tokens. And non-fungible tokens, basically, NFTs cannot be replicated. Yeah, that's even the FTs also, if you combine with the fiat currency, that also every node is a unique node only because that comes with a different ID. But again, barring that issue over here, what am I trying to tell you is this token basically is nothing but a different version of coin on the platform. So now there is also one more challenge that people get confused around token and coin. Now most of the people think that they are same, but they are not. Right? Coin basically is the platform where actually or originally the coin is released for that platform only. Like Bitcoins, the BTC, Ethereum, ETH, for us Algorand, Algo, right? So whenever you transfer, whenever you do anything, you always end up paying the gas fees in the coin. You will never pay the gas fees in token. So you can create a token which looks like a coin, but ultimately you are paying the gas fees using the coin. So just remember this difference also, that because of this difference, you need to figure out a way that how are you going, if you are going to create a token, then how are you going, I mean, what the price will be around your token and the coin itself and all. So you need to figure out certain issues. Apart from that, it is all same. All right, so let us, where is my slideshow from the current slide? So today we are talking about tokens. Tokens, we already know it's a fungible token. If you want to compare, just hypothetical, it is similar to your ERC20. The similar way we can create tokens over here also. And on NFT side, we have two kinds of tokens or two token standards. One is ARC3 and other is ARC69. Now ARC3 over there, the data or metadata or whatever you want to call that, that metadata is stored on IPFS, while on 69, the data is on the blockchain itself. Now, which is not a very, you can say, good idea if your data size is more and all. So normally we use the IPFS option and not the 69 one. Apart from that, both the NFTs are pretty much having the same standard, right? Over here, if you're coming from this Ethereum background, over there they have separate token standards like ERC20 for regular tokens or fungible tokens and ERC721 for NFTs. Over here, that bifurcation is not there. then how the things are bifurcated between tokens and NFTs. I mean, how are you going to understand if you have created a token or if you have created an NFT? We know that you can say that, okay, if you are having an image, we have converted, you can say an NFT or we have created an NFT. But if you are not having an image and all, then obviously you have not done that part or you have not created an NFT. But that is not the case, right? So what is the case over here? So token creation on Algorand has specific steps associated with that. And those steps are sandbox. I mean, because we are talking about, always talk about sandbox and testnet. That means on live or maybe on the Algorand test network, where you can integrate your para wallet, you can integrate your algo wallet, you can integrate your dev wallet, right? Which are not sandbox environment wallets. So you can do that. Over here on the sandbox, if you want to do that, then you have to have an algo D connection. Then you need to have an account creation. So you have to fetch that account from the Docker image, which is basically from the sandbox environment itself. Then the third one is preparing transaction parameters. So the difference between the way you are creating a token or NFT, it all lies within your parameter set, right? So there are multiple parameters. We are going to take a look step by step, all the parameters and all, right? And then if you are doing on the test network, so the only thing which is changed is AlgoD connection, of course, because then you are not connecting to localhost, you are connecting to a different network altogether. And then the account creation is done using your mnemonic, right? And again, the same thing, preparing transaction parameters and parameters, again, depending on the tokens or NFTs you are going to create. So there is one and the same thing, right? So let's see how or what I meant by parameters. So if I go to dap.flow, over here also you can see that I'm connected to my test network. Over here, I believe this is my para wallet address. And you can see that I have created some NFTs or over here. But then I can create an asset also. Let's see if the problem with that wallet is still done or not. Over here, we can see that the asset details are name, unit name, total supply, decimal, the URL is not mandatory, and metadata hash, again, not mandatory. But if you want to pass some information, you can, right? But at the bottom, there are 4 different addresses given. Of course, because you are operating from one wallet, so it will have on the same wallet address pasted over everywhere. But these are some different unique features which we will going to discuss, or we are going to discuss in multiple sessions. That's why you might have seen a different title this week, that it's ASA part 1, right? So over here, these are the parameters we are going to create. We are going to supply from the program while creating a token. But if you do over here, mint NFT, you can see that the properties are different, right? You can see an upload file over here to be converted to a hash, right? Then the name, then the 2 standards, then unit name and description and some properties if you want to add. If you don't, then these are the 3 things you require, an upload file and we are good, right? But then the point is, how will you identify if you have already created an asset? How will you identify that this is a token or an asset? I mean to say an asset or a mint or an NFT, sorry, not mint, an NFT. So if you click over there on any NFT, you can see that over here it looks like the same one. The title is given by me. So you can say that NFT. IPF is just a link. You can paste over there. But over here, see, view as NFT. Once you click over there, if this is a proper NFT, you will be able to see the standard over here, ARC3. If this standard is not there, forget about image. Image may load, may not load, depends of the integration, depends on the integration part. But this is supposed to be ARC3. If this is not ARC3, that means you have not created an NFT, right? If you want to check the metadata, you can. From here, you can see the name and everything, right? You can download the metadata also if you are integrating programmatically and if you require that much, right? So this is the difference while creating a token from the programming perspective as well as, or you can say from token perspective as well as NFT perspective. So now let us create our first, our usual demo code, which is our hello world. So let me just create AlgoKit init one more time. AlgoKit init. Okay, I'll go to my playground part. I'll put the name AlgoGyaan asset creation. So I remember that, okay, this is an AlgoGyaan series. So project folder is this one. Let's wait now. And yes, so I'm creating a new project. And all because of the poetry, it is trying to install everything. Oh, and we are done so that we are able to see the VS Code, right? I have already registered a code with me, which is working. And also don't worry, if this doesn't work due to any reason, we can still have that code which is working, which I can showcase to you. Why this is required? Because anytime while we are deploying live, some things can go wrong. That's why we as a support we can do that. Now let us go ahead and expand the hello world part, and I'm interested in this demo.py. And we know that the demo.py is the file we deploy. So first of all, let us check whether this works or not. But before that, Mudassir, is the text is readable, or do I just need to increase the font size?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So if I click over here and start debugging at the bottom, of course, some things will be there. I am told that the newer AlgoKit version is there. That's fine. Don't worry about this error. This is a different error. This has nothing to do with Algorand. And we can see that it is all done. Hello Beaker, the application ID and the address and everything is done. Transaction ID and all, right? If we want to take a look at the wallet, we know which is the command we are going to fire and all. So, but again, anyways, I have done that multiple times, so not doing right now. But now I told you that we need to create an asset, right? So first of all, because this is the actual code, I'm not going to disturb that code, but I'm going to write something over here. Let's say, pardon my commenting section, because I am from C# background, and C# over there, we have double slash as a comment. So it is just rooted in my blood. So over here, what I'm doing is asset creation. But specifically, we are creating a token, right? Not anything else. So over here, let me just step by step copy the code, so you will get a better idea of what we are doing, right? So first of all, what we need to do is we need to do something like this. So I'll just copy and paste over here. Right, I'll just have like yarn token, let's say hypothetically, and unit name I want to say G token, something like this. So this is a token. Now you can see that there is a library which I have, like I'm calling a function for asset creation transaction. So you can see that this particular transaction is of asset creation type, right? So we are trying to have a creation of an asset. So first of all, I'll go and I'll import the Algorand SDK. So Algo SDK, that's fine. Once you do that, the error will also move away. Now over here, we can see that I have created a variable object, unsigned transaction. Well, that first is sender equals to account address. So whatever account I have created, we know that from where? From here, the default wallet address from the sandbox, any one of the three wallets, and I have created that. So from here, I'm getting that address, right? Then some regular suggested parameters. Okay, we have that also. Then the number of units. We know that what was the number of units over there. So total, let's say we are having 10,000 tokens. Decimals, currently I'm placing it 0. Default frozen, that means by default they are frozen or not. Then the asset token, okay, I mistyped. So asset name, then unit name. But then I have added two more variables. A manager account.address and clawback account.address. So let us just remove one and let us keep only one. So I'll just remove this one also. And we can see that, okay, the transaction or the variables which are required to create a transactions are done. If you don't understand how to do that, or if you are not able to do that, you can just have control spacebar and you are able to see what you can type over here, right? All these things are over here, the built-in variables. Even sp dot also will give you an idea. Sp is your transaction suggested parameter. So these are the parameters basically which you can do that, right? And what is sp? Sp is basically from the AlgoD client, we are giving the transaction that what are the suggested parameters, right? So that is basically introduced over here also, right? If you have any questions, you can type in the chat. I'll answer at the end. So once this is done, our first step, I mean, I told you that we have to have the AlgoD connections. Yes, we have that AlgoD connection. We have, as a second step, we have to have wallet. Okay, we had that wallet also. As a third step, we need to have asset parameters. Okay, so we have created the parameters. So over here, what I can do is I can type over here that these are asset parameters. Now, once this is done, what is the next step? Let's move ahead. So now what I need to do is I need to sign certain transactions. So, okay, let us see. So over here, because you can see that this is an unsigned transaction and unsigned transactions don't work. So we need to sign the transactions. How do you sign a transaction in blockchain? Everybody knows that using a private key. So from here, I'm signing the transaction and then it becomes a signed transaction. Then what do you do with the signed transaction? You send the transaction to the blockchain. So over here, AlgoD client, which is your RPC URL, and this RPC URL has a function called send transaction. And which is a transaction I'm going to send? The signed transaction. And then I'm having print from the transaction ID. I'm printing the transaction ID itself and certain piece of information from the account address perspective also. And we are done, right? So over here, as I told you, there are 3-4 steps only which are required to deploy that asset over the Algorand network, right? Now, if everything is all right, it will be able to deploy the code and will be able to create the asset, right? But before that, we need to check exactly which wallet address has created this one. So let us just first deploy, and then we can see that which wallet, so that we can import from the we can import into that dev.flow, so we can see the asset created over there also. So start debugging. Let's see. Hopefully everything works fine. Yes, everything worked fine. You can see that the created asset is asset number 7. If you want to take a look at what is the transaction ID, you can look at the transaction ID also over here. The address is successfully sent with this transaction ID. Now, if I copy this transaction ID, because I know this is a sandbox transaction, so what I can do, I can go and check for over here. Okay, let me open somewhere else also. So app.devflow.org. Over there, I've already connected with my para wallet. That's why I'm opening a new one. Nothing different about that. Over here, sandbox environment, I can go to Explorer and then I'll paste the address over. Let's see. Yes, you can see that it's an asset configuration. The block number is 80. And over here, we can see that the action, the Gyaan token is created, G token. We can see that there has to be we were supposed to give 4 addresses, but over here we have not given. So only manager address is there, but while reserve account, clawback and freeze account, they don't have any values, right? So over here, we can see that the asset ID and all. But let's say if I go to asset manager, then I'll not be able to see the asset manager over here. Why? Because I'm not sure which wallet address is connected over here. So how to do that wallet address connection? So what you need to do is you need to go to your KMD portal, and from here you can import your wallet. So let's see whether this is going to give us that wallet. 330, let's see. I'm not sure whether this is the ID or not. So what I'll do is I'll go over here. I'll go kit, goal, account, list. And what was the asset ID created? So you can see over here 10,000 G token. So this is the particular, you can say wallet address which I'm interested in. This is this one, 3W, right? 3W2S6. Now let us go to our, this one. This is basically creating problem. No, this is a different address, right? Okay, Meet has a question. Can we change the metadata or there are any NFTs? Yeah, Meet, I'll cover once we start this metadata part. So over here right now, you can see that that particular wallet address is 330. I'm just trying to figure out where is that wallet address. Yeah. So we are not able to see the wallet address over here. It is CY, it is LY and 3W. So I believe we have to go back to a different screen over here. Might be, this is sometimes up, sometimes down. Yes. So the wallet address which has this one is 3W2. Yes. So this is the wallet address which I'm interested in importing. Which one? This one. So what you can do is add to dev wallets 3W2S6. So I'm adding that add to dev wallets. Then what will I do? I'll go to connect wallet. I'll click on dev wallet and automatically the same wallet is added over here. Why? Because this is for the first time I've opened in this particular browser. Now, if you go to asset manager, you will be able to see the assets created by this ID. And our latest one, which is our Gyaan token, if you click over there, you will be able to see over here. Now, let us see whether this is an NFT or not. So if I click over there, we can see that there is no ARC. And see over here also, this asset does not follow any of Algorand NFT standards like 319 or 69. That means whatever we have created is not an NFT. This is just a simple asset or token, or you can say customized asset you have created. Sarnavo, yes, you can see that. They are standards. Same way ERC are token standards for Ethereum. So, Meet, your question was, can we change the metadata? No, technically speaking, the metadata has to be unique per NFT. But because sometimes it is on test network, you cannot be exactly sure, right? It might work also. So this is the first code over there. What we have done, we have created what? We have created an asset. Now, one more thing around this particular transaction that, okay, I received the information from the account object also, but I want to see the other details also, like gas fees or what the other things are possible with this one. So again, if you go over here, this place, this particular dab.flow, you need to find out like what are the APIs available to us. Like what are the things available to you, right? So if you go ahead and go over here on the developer API part, you will be able to see the API over here. And at the bottom, you have some transaction ID you can pass. So just click over here, try it out. In the bracket, go to your visual code. We have just deployed our code over there. I want the transaction ID with me. So I'll just scroll up till the time I get my transaction ID. So this is my transaction ID. I'll copy the transaction ID. I'll go back to Debflow. I'll paste over there and execute. And we can see that I can see the information over here also. G token, the last valid round, the receiver rewards, Genesis block fee 1000, that is your 0.001 micro algo, 0.001 algo. This is micro algo. So this is done. Creator and all, manager, all the parameters are I'm able to see. But this is on a website. I want to see in the code itself. So how to do that? So let us just try to figure out a way to do that same thing over here after we deployed this one. So let us just, for now, let us stop this one because this is too much information over here. So I'll just stop this one. So now we have just the transaction ID and nothing else, right? But now what I want to do is I want to check the data in the same file. So let us take a look how to do that. So over here, HTTP client, you can see that there are 3 errors for me, JSON and HTTP. So I need to import certain packages or libraries over here. So import http.client and import JSON. Now I'm not sure whether you guys are aware of this one or not, but whenever you want to call an API, you need this http.client package. So from there, you can create a response, you can create a request to the API, and then you can get the necessary response back. So how are you going to do that? So in the connection part, we are passing the connection localhost 8980. Over there, the payload, because we are not sending anything. The headers are also blank. This is the API, you can say link over there. We have seen that API link just now. And I've just replaced the transaction ID. And then payload, headers, these are all because we are supposed to pass this information. So we are passing. Anyways, doesn't have anything. So it will not have any impact over there. Whatever I'm getting as a response from the API call, I'm storing that data into RES. That is my result object. Then I'm reading that data into data. That is one more, you can say, variable I've created. And then what I'm doing, I'm just beautifying the JSON so that it is easier for me to read. So all these 3 lines of codes particularly, these are all very simple pieces of code where I'm just converting the data which I've received from that API and printing it properly. Nothing more. All right. So now let us try one more time whether this particular thing gives us the desired result or not. What we are supposed to get? The transaction object which was received over the app.devflow.org. So let me save the file. I'll go to because anyways this demo.py is the only file open. So I'll go to run and I'll click on start without debugging. Let's see what it gives us. Okay, Mudassir, a question for you. Over there, the API worked. Over here, the API didn't. It is telling me that no transaction found for transaction ID. So what can be the problem?
Because I think you are using the sandbox. So
So we have done on the sandbox only. Now let me prove that we are still on sandbox. This is the network over sandbox only.
yes.
Right? This is a local host link only. Now let me just add this transaction ID and click on execute. I am getting the result over here.
Yeah.
So why am I not getting in Python file? Anybody? In this particular file, I'm not getting the desired result. Can anyone tell me why?
No transaction found.
Yeah. And while the transaction is still there. Come on, Mudassir, I'll give you 1 minute to think. Why this is occurring?
It's saying no transaction found. That means it's not getting that particular, like they're trying to fetch that with the transaction ID, but it's not getting that.
Hmm.
Uh,
That is the obvious conclusion, but the point is why? Because this is
exactly
important,
what
guys, for everybody to understand. These problems are not any related to any AlgoKit or any other platform. This is just a programming thing. And you should be able to understand why. Because the code is right. There is no error. We are getting no transaction found. While we just saw that the transaction is already there. No. Because if the code is edited, Sarnavo, the information is already over here. No? We are getting the transaction and we are getting everything. The similar code I have copied from there. You can see this was a working code. And you can see the result over here. See, this is the way it is going to be displayed to us. But then when we ran, it did not work. No. So Mudassir, think like this, that the data registration also takes time, my dear friend. So you need to make the computer wait. So we need to have an async connection or await connection, which we have not used over here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make the transaction wait for 3 seconds.
Oh, okay, I got it now. Yeah.
And now if I run
Because
this one,
when you deploy this directly running that function and without waiting.
yes, so because this is in the same file, so what
Yes.
happened is there was not enough time for the system to register and to check whether that worked or not. So now it has time, and now you can see the result. Clear?
Yes,
So we
sir.
have created a GYAN token with the total 10,000, G token, unit name, and all the other things. And why this is necessary? Mudassir? Yes, sir, now in real life, we need to have an async await function. Not just async, you need to have an await functionality so that it will wait till the answer comes in. But because you don't want to create your UI unresponsive, you will add the async part also in the function itself. So you will not have any trouble. But the question is over here, we did not do that. So we just did a very simple, you can say trick. And I just make the system to, I just have a 3 seconds waiting period. And this worked. And believe me, guys, I was also stunned for a moment that the code is working. Why sometimes it gives results and sometimes it doesn't. Then I realized that this is the problem and it is successful. So Mudassir, why this data is necessary for us? This particular
The
data which we
object.
have just received. Yeah, go ahead.
Because we have to check whether the wallet is the number of tokens or anything we want to integrate, and basically if we want to number of tokens or what the token name is, so we need this data basically.
Off-chain data. So in one word or 2 words, you can say off-chain data.
Yes.
We need this off-chain data where in any sort of RDBMS or NoSQL or whatever, wherever we want to put. Right? So we need this kind of data, which normally you understand them by blockchain explorers or something. They read the data from blocks, but they don't put back in the blocks. They put over here. So tomorrow, if something worst happens, right, and your entire code or network is in trouble, you can still retrieve the data from your off-chain version, which is not connected to blockchain. And that's why this is important to store every piece of information which you may require, right? That's why. So this is one thing we have done today, that we have successfully created an asset. Now, we all know that what is remaining over here.
So this 3 seconds time will not work on different blockchain because some blockchain take more time to basically publish their
Yes,
data.
so for that you need await operations.
Okay. Right.
So for here, because this is not an async scenario, and I just wanted to showcase that something like this also may happen with you. And every time you don't have that luxury of async await and all, so you can just simply put this waiting period and you are good to go. Right? So now, coming back to our situation where we want to create an NFT. So what is missing, guys? URL, right? In any sort of NFT, what is missing? URL. So let us just reduce this one so we can bifurcate, okay, what we have created. Over here, instead of GYAN token, we can have NFT GYAN token. Okay. And over here, G token, I can have GN token. So it becomes your NFT token or something, right? Then we need one more variable, which is called URL. So we can see that URL. Now, what is this URL basically? So the URL is basically your IPFS. So since we don't have that much time over here to upload over there and give you the exact URL, I'll just copy the things from here. And I'll paste over here. Right? And It's a string variable. So we need to just quote with double quotes and we are done. So now what we are doing, we are creating a URL. We are adding a URL. So now we know that we are creating an NFT, right? Again, I am not changing anything else. Manager is already there. If you want to add couple of more variables, you can. But these are the basic requirements that how NFT and everything bifurcates. No, one more also additional thing you can add, and that is metadata hash. The question asked by me. Now, what is metadata hash? So whatever information you want to store within your NFT, and if you are coming from Solidity background, your URI of NFT 7 ERC 721 token, over here it is metadata hash. Now, how are we going to create? Can I just write down my name over here? No, it will give you an error because this is not hashed value. This is real value. So how to generate a hash value? Let us see that also. So for that, I've just created some simple functions. So over here also, because we are into metadata hash one or asset we have already done. So over here, I'm just writing.
Can I put the hash directly also, like from other third-party websites if I create a hash?
Yeah, you can do that. No problem. You can do that. We have not done anything over here. So I'm just putting the codes from here. So over here, what you can see, height, width, or any other information you can add in the data part, that is up to you. You can see it is already giving me an error, right? So what I can do is I'll just go quickly over here and I'll add one more library, hashlib, and we are good to go. So over here, yes. So I have a data variable which has a couple of you can say properties over there, height, width. You can add genre also. Which kind of picture is this? So genre, let's say natural, something like this. You can do, right? So this is also done. Then I wanted to convert this one as text. So I've just converted to by putting the string variable, which is a typecasting type. And then I'm using this hashlib SHA-256. I'm encoding the entire data into hash. And then over here, what I'll do is I'll just pass that variable data underscore hash. And we are good to go. So we have added two informations over here. One, we have added the URL. The other, we added the metadata hash. And now we are able to see that. The hash, the manager, unique name, asset name, these are all we have just changed them. Right? Now, let us just deploy. So let me save the file. Let us go at the bottom. So we are able to see the entire result. Start debug. Okay, it is giving an error. So what it is giving an error is not in bytes. I'm not sure. I've already tested this code. It should work. Let me see what went wrong over here. This stupid bar always creates problems. So AlgoD SDK unsigned transaction. The data is not in. What data is not? Hashlib. So generating is over here only. Data hash. Okay. So metadata hash equals to this. The comma is there. Let me see if I have changed anything or what. Yes. Okay. I forgot to add this one, data hash dot digest. So because we need that hash in bytes. So we have to add this one also. Now let us run this one. Start debugging. Okay, it is done. We have received the transaction details and all. We know that the asset ID we have not printed. We have removed that code maybe. So over here, we can see from the transaction ID itself. Let us go to over here. Let us find out from the Algorand Explorer. So I'll go to Explorer. I'll paste the transaction ID over here. And I can see that the asset ID is this one. 107. 1107. And because we are having IPFS URL, resort URL, and everything is there, creator, manager, We have not added these three parts. Metadata hash also, you can see that the hash also is generated. So all these things are done. Now, Mudassir, if I click over view as NFT, it should work or not?
I think it will work.
It should. Okay, you think it should. Let's click over there. Or it is not. So let us go back to the code now. Why it did not work? It created an asset, all right, but it is not telling us, it is telling us this is not an NFT. So we have IPFS URL, we have metadata hash and everything. Supply should be one. No, NFTs can be more than one also.
That's the decimal define it's basically.
Decimal is 0. Okay, you want me to remove this one?
Yeah, can we do decimal 10?
No, it is up to 6 only it is allowed. 6 or 8, we need to check.
No,
but over here, can you standard, what standard I didn't define, but Sarnavu. I understand something is not there. That's why it is not working. My question is what? So just guys try to understand this is not the complete URL which is accepted by Algorand. So over here, simply you need to add this one. Don't forget to add this one. Normally we normally are not habituated to add this kind of behavior at the end of the string. But for this one, we need to do this. All right. So now if I just go over here, if I save the file, let us do one more. Let us have, okay, let us keep this one only. But Meet said, okay, we accept Meet's wish and we have only one NFT now. Let us do that. Let us go to run.
It will be worth of $1 million then.
Pardon?
It will be worth of $1 million. Since it's a single creation.
That is up to me to decide. She has told us that she wants only one copy. Okay, that is all done. We can see that the fees and everything is same. The sender argument or the transactions are also done. Metadata hash, AlgoGyaan token. Now we have decimals we have kept, but the other things are pretty much total is one and all. So what I can do, I can go over here.
So can we check here also whether it is ARC or not?
That I need to check whether you can do from the prompt or not.
Yeah, okay.
But I'll be able to tell you from here now. Let us see that. We go to asset manager. So this is the, oh, this is not there. This is 100 only. Just refresh. I told you this is a dashboard created. So it will not be reflected as it is. We have one token. Yes. So you can consider this as a Meets token. And now if I click over here, now hopefully it should work. No. Rahman, the question is it possible to mine 2-3 copy of same NFT with same values? No. Over here, as I told you, this is test network and we are not doing exactly what you should do. That's why it is working. Now, if I click over view as NFT, yeah, it is there, ARC3. So we have successfully now created an ARC3 token standard. We can go ahead and check over here, view asset, which will give us the entire new asset. We can click over here, what ARCs it validates. So if you click over here, ARC validation, you can see that it only validates for ARC3. So this is not an ARC69 token. This is not an ARC19 token. So this is the way you can see that what is missing. So metadata is invalid for this one. For this one, the URL must form like this. So these are the various things you need to make sure that you do while creating an NFT over here. Clear, guys? Mudassir, any doubt now?
No, sir. Now we have to explore to change the decimal numbers and these things.
Yeah, we can do that. Decimal, we can just remove. Decimal anyways in NFT.
No, since it's NFT, so if we change the decimal, so that means you can divide that NFT.
Yeah, you have to, then you are creating a fractionalized NFT.
Yeah, that's what.
So that is also a part of this session. Probably we will cover that too. But today's session was entirely how to create a standard, a customized token as well as an NFT. What I wanted to cover, what problems you may have, you might face while developing this one. And this is the easiest way to create with an API also. So now we can access whatever we are doing from the form in the form of an API too, right? So over here again, guys, as I told you, I explained in the PPT that we will have 5 steps. Again, we did all those 5 steps only. From where you can see that AlgoGyaan client. So connection to your AlgoGyaan, first step. Second step, we need a wallet. Okay, we have provided the wallet. Third step was creating the parameters. So this is that, the parameter creation. Fourth step was upload over there, right? So this is the last step over there. When after we create that, we upload. And then fifth one, we can have an API passed over there. This is again, fifth is not required. 3 or 4 steps. 4 steps are fine. You can go ahead and just get the necessary data out of your transaction, which is mandatory for every blockchain implementation. Normally, people forget to do that. They design an entire architecture, but they forget to design the, the off-chain version of it. And if you forgot to do that, it is not a valid architecture. And architecture doesn't mean that you need to have an enterprise level project or product. It has to be there in every kind of project, right? So you need to understand how these things work, right? Now, very simple thing. If I want to put this entire thing over test network, will that work? Then yes. So what are the changes anticipated? First change is over here. We need to change that one. And the second thing over here, account. Because then over there, you need to have that mnemonic in place where using that mnemonic, you will be able to create the entire account from there and then you can transact, right?
Yeah, and
And
guys, we have
similarly,
already covered these things, so you can check our previous video for that.
yes, so you can already go ahead and check the previous videos, how to do that. Anyways, in the next session, when we are going to dig deep into how to set the other parameters, how to maybe use a fractionalized NFT, that also we are planning to cover. But again, when that will be, we will post over Monday or Tuesday so that you will get an idea that what will be the next topic about. But today, we planned and successfully delivered of all the things which I wanted to talk to you about of how to deploy a simple asset and an app. All right. So any questions from anyone, guys? Since we are only 6 minutes left now, so I'm open for questions. What needed to be done? We have already covered that part, the entire API layer and all. Yes. So this is the place where you can find out the remaining videos or the previous videos also. Mudasir, do you have any questions?
I think you have cleared everything.
Okay, so just remember that we will cover the remaining portions also. Like what are these 3 scenarios? What is a default portion?
Yes.
How to
Risk, pros and
transfer?
drawbacks.
Yes, how to use, because this is the only platform which has certain unique features around NFTs, which no other platform presents. And that's why we
And also,
wanted
what
to
are the
have this
difference between ARC3 and 69?
ARC3 and 69 is the difference where the IPFS data or the data related to NFT gets stored on IPFS in ARC3, but the data and everything itself gets stored on blockchain, then it is ARC69. And that's why the validation of the metadata is different for both the standards. But nowadays we have the images are on higher size. So it is not viable to
Yeah.
store something that big over the test network. So normally we use the ARC3 standard and not the 69.
Okay.
So you can see that the block number or whatever we have created today from this wallet perspective, we have already seen all those things. So if you go to asset manager, you'll be able to see all the assets created, applications we created, right? If you are opted on someone, no. So we will cover that also, what is opted in the next session, how that works and everything around that. All right. So Mohita, that concludes my part of today of
I
what
think that
needs
was
to
such
be.
a great session. Yeah, please continue.
So I was telling that, guys, these are the basic steps you should introduce in your code. If you are struggling with how to create an ASA, how to create an NFT, And for IPFS, what you need to do, you need to have an image control over somewhere where you can integrate the IPFS API. You can use Pinata, this one. So you can introduce this one. This is a free. This particular platform will give you 1 GB storage for free, right? So you can utilize this one. There is one more
Sir, your
platform
screen
called.
is not visible.
Oh, sorry. I thought we are ending, but then let me showcase of how to generate the this one also. So this is IPFS. You can have this particular API integrated in between, and then you will be able to use that URL also. One thing, just this particular platform generates a pretty big URL. You are not supposed to copy that entire URL over this asset creation because it will accept only 96 bytes. So if the URL length is more than that, it will give you an error. Where is that particular thing? Over here. So just store the IPFS in this part only, or maybe the hash only. Rest of the URL you can have stored somewhere else because it depends on the platform. You can just combine the remaining hash and your data will be created. So just do like that. There are other platforms also. I use Pinata, ARV, simple storage. There are plenty of in order to upload the NFT over there and then get the hash out of it. Can we use Filecoin as Lighthouse as off-chain? Yeah, you can do anything whenever you want to do that. But these are not databases, Sarnav. These are Filecoin and Lighthouse. These are all separate scenarios. What I'm talking off-chain is completely off-chain, not any other blockchain. While Filecoin and Lighthouse, I believe they are still implemented on blockchain only. Filecoin. Yeah, decentralized storage. You can, but see, basically you are trying to create a database. So try to understand the difference over here. Sarnavo is you need a database. This is not a database. This is a decentralized storage. So I won't recommend that the off-chain data should be over here. The off-chain data should be in RDBMS only, like Postgres or SQL Server, or even if you want higher one, NoSQL like MongoDB or something, you can go ahead with that. Yeah, Mudassir, you were saying something?
No.
So Filecoin is a decentralized storage. The other one, Lighthouse, I believe that also is a similar that line, Lighthouse blockchain. Otherwise, it will give something else to us. Yeah. So don't do this one. This is for IPFS data storage that you can utilize, but not for off-chain databases. Right? This is for if you want to store your IPFS data, go ahead, do that, no problem. But don't store your off-chain data into such platforms. Simple. Right, Sarnavu? Clear now? Done. Okay, guys, then any other one? Or should I pass the mic to Mohini? Sorry, Mohita.
No worries.
Okay, Mohita, then.
Sunil, this was such, no, thank you for this session. I think this was such a good session. I follow things as well while you're, talking about, on the other laptop, I'm always like working out things and, I'm just following things myself. I was talking to Meet today and I was just telling her, in fact, that, now that I'm also picking up skills and I've started to code, it's great that, these sessions are so helpful. And the fact that I can understand, because you break it down into such easy concepts is awesome, is seriously awesome. And I love the interaction between you and Mudassir today, and also so many questions from my young devs. I think that was so cool. Please keep your questions coming. And you can also reach out to Sunil on his LinkedIn and Twitter. And in fact, you can also reach out to Mudassir on Discord. Mudassir, please drop in the Discord server link as well so people can join.
Just a minute.
Thank you. And Sunil, what is the next session going to be about? Can you give us a glimpse, a sneak peek?
That will be something around digging deep into NFTs and all. But let us see what topics we are able to cover in the next part. So I'll be able to give you that information in a couple of days, that what are we going to cover in the next session.
Right.
But yeah, Rahman, there is a question from Rahman that what are the important steps to do that? So as I, let me just again share my screen. Sorry, Mohit, I'm taking mic back again and again, but
no worries. No worries at all.
So over here, I believe my screen is visible to everybody now.
Yes, it is.
So first of all, you need to have an AlgoGyaan connection. That means you are creating an RPC URL. You are connecting to localhost or test network. That is up. The second step is you are going to have the wallet address. So that if you are using Sandbox, then out of 3, you are going to have 1. If you are using Para wallet or anything, you can, in the next session, we will showcase that also, how to do the same thing using Para wallet. So that you can do from there. Then preparing the transaction parameters. So this is third step, that how many parameters will you require if you are creating a token, if you are creating an NFT. So we saw that from the code itself, that how many parameters are required. So if you are creating a token, then you don't need this one. You can neglect these ones. Why? Because these are related to specifically NFTs. So, but rest you can do that. So this you need to understand what parameters or what are you trying to create. So based on this only, these 3 steps, and then remaining is just publishing, right? Signing the transaction and publishing. So 5 steps. Clear?
It's clear to me. I would say that.
Yeah, it should be clear to him also then.
I'm sure. If it, I think that was, whose question was that? Rahman's question, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, if not, Rahman, you can always reach out to Sunil. Okay, he says, okay, sir, thank you so much. It's clear to him. But even if not, you can always reach out. And I think, let's also continue this conversation over Discord, where Mudassir is pretty active. And, we've got other ambassadors, Sunil, Meet, everybody else on it too. So you can always just continue this conversation there and just take it forward. Also, we're inching so close to our Algorand Impact Summit, and I see a lot of names here that have registered. And we look forward to meeting you there. Some of you who've joined us, I'm sure you're also wondering about the student hackathon, and we will be putting out winners, in early next week. I see, our semi-finalists names here, so I'm really excited about, putting out the name, and all of you performed so well. So thank you so much for that. And it's 9:04 and I don't want to take any more time. So I think we should wrap it up then for the evening.
Yeah, just a second. They require my LinkedIn ID and also I'm just giving them my ID.
So I was like, okay, I'll just hold on.
So now you can
please go
ping me over Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yeah, that will be perfect. And all of these sessions are recorded and they will be uploaded to a YouTube Algo Bharat channel as well. I think, Mudassir, you've already dropped the link in the chat box, right?
Yes, he did.
Perfect. Yeah. So, you can always view these sessions there. And thank you, Sunil. Thank you, everybody, for joining us on this lovely evening. And let's meet again next Friday at 8 p.m.
Yes. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session tonight. Have a great weekend ahead. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.